this isn't just any ordinary sketchbook. This is a long fucking sketchbook. And it starts with a pigeon. But wait, we've already seen all of that shit. So let's try looking at it from a different angle. See, because where it's all long and foldy outy, it has the other side to it. So now I've filled up the other side. See, so that's now the front, and now we're on the back. We're on the back bit of it now. So that's whoa. You've heard of bananas in pajamas. Get ready for rat in jeans. A rat in jeans. Look at him. Tubby little rat boy hanging out in his jeans, in his high cuffed jeans, smoking a cigarette like the cool rat boy that he is. Ah, brilliant. Just brilliant. Plague Marines. Nurgle Death Guard. This might be one of my favourite drawings in here. I really, really like this Chaos Space Marine of the Nurgle Order. I think it's really good. The pose, the armour, the chunkiness of it all. It feels very... See, because a ballpoint sketch, but then I used like a brush marker type pen just for like the border around the outline, and it gives it a sort of a border around the outside, an outline around the border line. And it makes it look, gives it extra chunkiness, doesn't it? And we like that. We like a bit of chunk in our drawings and shit. Yeah, it's really good though. I like that one. I hope you like Nurgle, because there's a whole pissing lot of it to come up in this next couple of pages. There's some more Death Guard, more Plague Marines. These are just sort of little thumbnail sketches, just figuring out ideas for their tummies, for the little Plague Marine tummies, the little tummy plates, the armour tummy plates, because they have like mouths and guts and like demonic possession, like visual showings of demonic possession and such. But I like this one as well, where it's got like the guts made out of cables and stuff, like they're purposely made. Whatever. This guy though, this might be one of my favourite drawings in here. That's a good one, isn't it? Big Daddy Nurgle, the great unclean one, greater demon of Nurgle, looking as bloated and pus-filled as he ought. Open wounds and sores and maggots crawling all over the place. His pudgy little face. Oh, yes, Daddy. Fill me up with your fat, girthy pox. Diseased Daddy. Oh, fucking get in. I really like that though. I like the colours, the shapes. Again, big chunkiness with the shapes and such. And I do like the colours, like the mixtures of like purples and greens, some oranges and stuff in there. Little Nurgling hanging out down there. Don't forget that guy. That's fun. This is another Plague Marine. This was stolen from a drawing by Jez Goodwin in Jez Goodwin's book of Jez Goodwin drawings by Jez Goodwin, Games Workshop artist. But it was a normal Space Marine, but I redrew it, and then made it a bit more chaotic, I guess you could say. A bit more Nurgled, only a bit more Nurgled. It doesn't look that Nurgly particularly, maybe in the sort of helmet area. This cable adds some sort of chaos Nurgle sort of thing to it, doesn't it? Bunch of bulls! A whole load of bulls in here, because I'm doing a thing with the minotaur, which I believe is the actual pronunciation, as opposed to minotaur. And so I was drawing a bunch of bulls, trying to figure out how to draw a bull. It's one of those things, you've seen bulls, you sort of know what they look like, and then you sit down to try to draw one, and it feels like you've never seen nor heard of a fucking cow in your entire life. So you have to search up images of them. And so I was looking up images of like cartoon bulls and illustrations of bulls to sort of build my internal visual catalogue of bull and bull imageries. To then use and utilise in the drawing of minotaurs and such. Sexy pink bull man there, sort of rough minotaur fella. A little bit more of a heftily drawn minotaur. You might have seen this one in a podcast. I hated the face, so this is you can hear a bit of a lip there. I drew on a separate bit of paper, cut it out, stuck it on a new head for him just so I could stand to look at him, just like my parents can't stand to look at me for the grave disappointment I have become. Well, I say parents, one of them's fucked off and died, so I guess it's only one. Anyway, I like this bull head. I think it's quite a nice chunky boy. We like that. Speaking of bull's head, look at that. The bull's eye. The bull's eye. Right there. See, because it's a bull's head, and that's the bull's eye. The bull's eye. Because a bull's eye, is the centre of a target. They call it the bull's eye. But it's literally the eye of the bull. It's a literal. It's really funny when you explain an obvious joke as if it's not an obvious joke, and then that explanation becomes the joke. And then it's even funnier when you talk about the thing that you're talking about instead of just talking about the thing that you were talking about. Talk about the fact that you're talking about the thing that you're talking about. Oh, there's layers to it. These are some rats. I don't really like them. I think you can kind of see what I was going for, like a wave of rats. I think I drew them too big. I should have drawn smaller rats, more of them. And then I did them in ballpoint pen, but then I went over them with a brush and ink just to sort of see if thick, rough lines would help. But they didn't. I could have or should have maybe just stuck something over it. Just a random drawing of a rat, just like with the bull's head. Just cut it out on paper, stick it on, or paint something over there maybe. I don't know. I'm not really happy with the rats. But it's a sketchbook, innit? It doesn't matter. Obviously, a lot of my sketchbook looks fucking fantastic, but not all sketchbooks need to look fantastic all of the time, or any of the time, really. So it's just whatever. The bullseye does look really good, though. I took some time to do some decent cross-hatching on that bullseye. See, it's fags! A bunch of fags! I'm allowed to say that because I'm British, and we call them fags. You fucking dirty smokers. That was from Sludge Life, just a drawing, an observational drawing. It's like a still life from Sludge Life, a Sludge Life still life of some cigarettes hanging out in an ashtray. Ashtray, more like ashtray, full of fags. Midsommar with old sad face Mook. What's her name? I can't remember the character's name because I don't care. That was a really fun one. This might be one of my favourite drawings in here. Drawing/painting, I suppose. And the painting of it is basically just colourful blobs of paint that do kind of look like flowers. I used a screenshot of the film as reference for this, so I tried to get the colours and flowers more or less sort of kind of accurate to the. And I think maybe her likeness doesn't look exactly like. Is it Florence Pugh in the film? Her character, But I got her expression. I was happy with the expression. A little bit exaggerated. Just turned the corners of her mouth down just a little bit. Just ever so slightly exaggerated the eyebrow curve. Just a teensy bit. Just to exaggerate the expression. But I've got her sad face. Her big, oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I became May Queen in this gorgeous, wonderful village. Oh, my boyfriend's a worthless piece of shit. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, I'm so sad. Wee. Oh, they inducted me into this cult and plied me with drugs. Oh, boo-hoo. I don't know what's happening now. Everything's scary. Wee. All my parents died, but when my sister killed them and herself. Oh, wee. Makes for a nice spread, though, doesn't it? A nice sketchbook spread. I love a good spread in a sketchbook. Like having a good page in a sketchbook is cool, but it's when you get a good spread. A good couple of pages, good. And this whole fucking thing is one big spread of a sketchbook. So spread it like jam and have some more fags. That's cool, isn't it? There's actually cigarette ash in this painting. Some texture to it. See, because I took up smoking for the duration of a single packet of cigarettes for an art project, because I'm an artist and I do art projects, and one of them involves fags. So I smoked a pack of fags so I can have an empty packet of fags. Well, not the empty, but it's the... Anyway, this is more Sludge Life cigarette action. I liked this ashtray piled with butts. This ashtray piled with fag butts. The jokes write themselves, don't they? They're not good jokes, but, you know, if you will have jokes writing themselves, they're probably not going to be the best jokes you've ever heard, are they? They're bordering on straight up offensive and not in a humorous, sort of light-hearted, funny, offensive way. Just straight up intolerant. And, you know, we could do with less of that in the world, frankly. Good painting, though. Well, it's not brilliant. Might be one of my favourites in here, but... I like it, and I like there is some like texture to it because of the ash that was sort of inadvertently, in some cases, dropped into the painting as I was painting it. And you might be aware I quite like the game Sludge Life, so I do draw and paint things from it occasionally. More bulls, more bullshit, more bullshit. But I mean, it's bull's heads, so it's like the opposite end of the bull to the shit part, really, isn't it? And they're not even shit; they're quite good. This might be one of my favourite drawings in here. I really like this. This, I think, will be more the direction I'll take my minotaur when I work with it, because I like the shapes, I like the colours and the shapes. Oh, I like this part of my drawing. I like this bit of my drawing. Isn't my work just bloody brilliant? Aren't I just bloody great? Oh, leave me for a moment while I just blow myself, while I fillet myself into ecstasy from looking at my own bloody artwork and marvelling at how bloody good it bloody is all the bloody time. Except for those rats, they were kind of shit. But this is bloody good, isn't it? Look at that, all the fucking bulk of him, the colours, the arm poses with the fists, fucking fists. His face and his... I mean, that's, you know, sort of just a doodle, but it's quite a cool little pink little bull head, isn't it? It's good, though. I like that. I really like that, actually. I really, really like that. The colour, the greens and the blues and the purples and red eyes and... yeah, some good shit. Some graph. See, if you're involved in the graffiti writing world, you don't call it graffiti. Well, you can, but you sound like a fucking ponce and you get beaten up and have your shoes stolen. And you get like a willy painted on your back with spray paint while you're laying on the floor in pain from being kicked in the ribs a bit for calling it graffiti. So you've got to call it graph, like the cool kids do. See, there was a little bit of it here, because it was in a podcast, I was drawing shit, I was talking about graffiti, I was tagging up my sketchbook, as I am wont to do, and that sort of led to a bit more graffiti and a bit more graffiti. Some stuff. That's quite a nice one. That's a good colour scheme. I like that colour scheme. Sort of like green, turquoise, fade, red outline. If you do graffiti, try that colour scheme if you haven't. It's a really fucking good one with some spray paints and such. And that leads into more Sludge Life, of course. See, they're all graffiti artists, graph writers, sorry, in that game. This guy's called Mosca, and that's his tags. He writes, so it flows into one bit into the next. And this was just, again, probably just killing time, just doodling these guys from Sludge Life just for fun. Just painted it. Could have left it as a black and white sketch, but I figured, what the hell, give it a bit of colour. And something. And then, so that sort of flows into that. And then this guy's a goblin. And this is goblin. And this graffiti. And there's goblins and graffiti. And all kinds of... See, there's like graffiti goblins. I was having one of those days where I just couldn't seem to fucking draw. Maybe you have those days too. If so, maybe you just need to get good. But it happens where it's not necessarily that you can't draw, but it's just maybe your hand isn't quite synced to your brain as it normally feels it is, and you can't quite translate your thoughts onto paper as quite as adequately as you maybe like, as you maybe usually can. So all I was really going for was like a hand holding a spray can, like close up, and then behind it the little goblin putting his hand up to paint graffiti. But I couldn't. You can see all these lines. I was just trying to figure out, like, I was doing this and I was like, how do I must have drawn hands holding spray cans a million times over the years. You know, in my graph days, that's what you do. You do a piece of graffiti, draw a character next to it holding a can, looking all cool, like a b-boy character or something. Fucking chilling with a spray can going tss, and a scat pop. But it was one of those days. I'm not going to sing the Limp Bizkit song. I'm not. I just couldn't make it work. So there's just a bunch of horse shit and a gun Viking, but also just a bunch of horse shit. But they're goblins, so it's fun. It's horse shit, but it's fun horse shit because they're all funny little goblin guys. And this guy, I added him in there. He was one of them space fillers where I just had gaps in my sketchbook, so I filled one of those gaps with this guy. I love two elbows. I love drawing arms with two elbows. It's really fun to draw arms with one bend and then another bend and then whatever. So there's this guy painting his tag, Gobzilla. See, it's like Godzilla, but with goblin in place of God. That stupid made up idiot. Just a bunch of just shit. I mean, not shit, but like just a bunch of shit. Just doodles, just for the sake of killing time. Drawing something for the sake of drawing something. Skulls and axes and penis. Oh my! Kicking this guy in the head, and he's all like, "Oh, fuck my head." He's chilling. I used to draw eyeballs floating on top of heads all the time. Every now and again, I'll bring that back, but I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like, oh, I'll use this as like a thing that people will see, like a floating eyeball above their head, and they'll know it's my work. And I have to have a style. I have to find my style. What if I draw and people don't know it's mine because it's not in my style? Don't think like that. It's badness to think like that. It makes for kind of a cool part of like a spread of a thing, though, doesn't it? It's kind of neat. I don't know. It's all right. And this is basically more of the same, but, you know, in terms of drawing for the sake of drawing, just doodling for the sake of doodling, killing time, whatever. But monkeys! Hey! We all love monkeys, don't we, eh? Ugh! I did a whole video, well, not I did like part of a video, ranking the best monkeys. So this was sort of leading up to / part of that. Just drawing some monkeys. I know these are technically apes. You can shut up. I do know the difference. Obviously, I know the difference between monkeys and apes. Monkeys are, you know, monkeys, and then apes are just, you know, different in ways. Chimpanzees and orangutan with their big, stupid cheeks that they get. The big alpha male orangutan face parts that some of them get. Apparently, they can just do that. and some of them just choose not to, and some of them just grow big cheeks. That's just a thing. They can just, I don't know how it works. I'm not a fucking monkey expert. I'm not a monkey man. What the fuck do I know? Basically, it's just monkeys from here to the end. Gibbons. I like gibbons. I think they were quite close to the top of my ranking list. And funnily enough, they're also quite close to the top of my wanking list. I wank and think about gibbons. I wish I had big gibbon hands to... So there's some gibbons there. And then some more monkeys. More monkeys. So this one, I drew this one first. Kung Fu monkey. You've heard of Kung Fu Panda. Get ready for Taekwondo chimp. Although he is a monkey because he's got a tail, so chimp isn't an adequate descriptor. And then so the purple monkey dishwasher. There's a reference for anyone who might get that reference. The purple monkey was drawn again to fill in gaps because there was a gap here and gaps, and I felt like just something needed to be in there. So I thought, hey, wouldn't it be funny to draw the monkey's head here and then like the monkey's body chilling here again with two elbows. I don't know how obvious it is because I haven't like outlined shit, but it's one elbow here and then it's fun. So it was just purely not even aesthetic, just filling in the space. I'll put his head here and his body here just because it'll be funny. But inadvertently, it looks like this monkey's kicking his fucking head off, doesn't it? Ah, what's he gone and done that for? That's brutal. That's a bit harsh. It's uncalled for. It's unnecessary. It's violent. Calm down, Taekwondo monkey chimp. What are you doing? You pink bastard. But that just goes to show you, doesn't it? What I've done there is I've accidentally, without trying to, I've created a narrative through the juxtaposition of primarily unrelated, though not strictly unrelated images, which is a thing that bears thinking about, isn't it? Is almost any two unrelated images, when put next to each other, are almost certainly going to create... the act of putting them together, it creates a connection between the two, even if there wasn't a connection previously, or even if there isn't strictly a connection between the two images. Just them being in proximity with one another, our brains create patterns. It's why we see faces. It's why you just have to look at anything that's basically this is a face, even though it's a fucking bunch of bullshit. It's a 1 and a colon. Ostensibly, it's enough, but you see a face, don't you? And so that's what your brain does when you see two images, in proximity. Your brain connects them and goes, what's the story here? How are these connected? And if you see two images that have been put together, but you didn't watch them get put together, you just see them together, your brain will think, why have these been put together? There must be a reason. These must have been put together purposefully, with the purpose of having a connection and showing that connection and opening up the discourse for what that connection could possibly be. And that's essentially what's happened here. And look, this one's got a banana!